Hey everyone, back with another video. Wanted to talk about the outline with a few different machines that I use. So I'll be using the Vertex needle. This is a 0.25 1 RL long taper. I'll be using the world famous tattoo pigment just for practice. This is the Mast Y22. This is a Mast tour with the original battery. I'll also be using this with an external battery because the external battery allows me to bring the speed down further than what the original battery does. I'll also be using the Wormhole, which I haven't shown, but we'll get to that shortly. So with the Mast Y22, this needle is out maybe about a 2 millimeter hang, and I am staying in the skin, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 before I move forward. When I first started, I realized that I was moving way too fast with my outline, and I wasn't going over the outline enough to saturate the skin. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, then I move forward. If it's too dark, then I might need to adjust my pressure, or I might count 1, 2, 3, and then move forward. Just some information about the Y22. It is a 3 millimeter stroke, which is the stroke is how hard the needle hits the skin. This machine does have a wider grip. I have very small hands, so it is a little bit big for me, but I can still use it. It's just, I have a better machine in my opinion in terms of grip. And I do think that the needle matters. This Vertex needle, in my opinion, is pretty strong. And making sure that your machine is fully charged up. The performance I notice is a little bit different as your machine starts to lose battery life. But this machine has a 4-hour run time and a 2-hour charge time. Okay, now I'm going to be showing you a pixelated outline, and that's where I'm using the pendulum motion, where I'm entering the skin at the top, bringing the needle out at the bottom or at the end of the swing. And then I still am counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm moving forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm moving forward. So it gives you a little bit of a lighter outline if you want something soft for like the top of your brows. Now I'm moving to the Mast tour with the original battery. This speed, the only lowest it goes to is 6. And I should mention for the Y22, which is a pink machine, I have it on the speed 5.5. Okay, so some information about the Mast tour. It is a 3.5 stroke. So it should technically hit the skin a little bit harder than the Y22, but in my opinion, it is a little bit softer on how it delivers pigment to the skin. I'm trying to use the exact same pressure from the previous machine, but you'll see that this outline is a little bit lighter, and to me, even the feeling that I get on the machine feels lighter to me. This is a smaller of a grip machine. This is the one that I'm talking about, and I can use this machine also with an external wireless battery. This has a 4-hour run time, and these are all considered medium stroke machines. And now I'm doing the pixelated outline. My hand is in the way, but you'll see what the outline looks like when I finish. And this is again starting at the top of the swing, entering the skin, and then bringing the needle out at the end of the swing. Now I'm adding the external battery on here, and again, this external battery allows me to bring the machine to a slower speed. So I am actually bringing this speed down to a 5.5. We can see how that delivers pigment to the skin. If I would have put it on a 6, it would have been running way too fast. So the machine speeds do differ machine to machine. So this is going to be a 5.5. The first line that you're going to see is me keeping the tip of the needle in the skin, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then moving forward. So I'm not lifting out at all. And then I just like to wipe, see where I am to see if I need to adjust my pressure. And using that external battery makes the machine even lighter in terms of weight. Now I'm doing the pixelated outline. Now I have noticed with this machine, sometimes when I'm outlining that the outline doesn't like show up right away, but then if I switch the needle into a different machine, then it shows up right away. So, you know, I think it's how strong the machine is on how efficiently it delivers an outline without having to go over it multiple times. And then I'm going to take this same machine, and what you just saw me do here is I slowed the speed down to a 4.5. Just so you can see, and you can see that that first initial outline where I kept the needle in the skin is a little bit darker because this machine is moving slower. Okay, now I'm going to the Wormhole. This is a 3.5 stroke machine. It's same as the Mast Tour, but to me it feels like a stronger machine. It is the heaviest out of all of the machines. It delivers an outline really quickly without a whole bunch of saturation or a whole bunch of times of me going over the line. I can use an external battery with this machine to slow it down. And I also feels like it kind of pulls back the power of the machine. So it makes it a little bit softer on how it hits the skin, in my opinion. Like the stroke has not changed, but I noticed that the battery and how it delivers power to each machine will change. I believe I can also use the original battery from the Mast Tour, and I can also use the battery from the Wormhole on the Mast Tour battery on the Wormhole, and I can use the external battery for each machine. So that gives me 3 batteries that I can work with if one of my batteries dies. Okay, so now I thought it'd just be a good idea to show you how each machine delivers shading. So this is the Mast Y22. This is the pink machine. This is at a speed 5.5. This is the Mast Tour with the original battery. The speed can only go down to a 6. Then this is the Mast Tour with the external battery at a speed 5.5. And you see the pixels get a little bit further apart at that slower speed. And then I'm going to take that Mast Tour with the external battery and I'm slowing it down to a speed 4.5. And you see how much further the pixels are away from each other. And this is good for like my brow fronts, or if I want to make the top of my brows a little bit lighter. And that's why that external battery is good, because you can slow it down to deliver pixels that are further apart. And then this is the Wormhole with the speed only goes down to a 6.
For every minute time I stopped on Kiki.
And what I'm going to be doing is the Mast Tour with the external battery is by far my favorite machine, just for the hand grip, the external battery that's on it. But I'm going to also be utilizing the Wormhole, which is this for my outlining. All the machines are really good machines, just kind of depends on if you want something lighter like the Mast Tour with the external battery with a slower speed. If you want something a little bit stronger like the Wormhole. But I like using 2 machines, one to deliver my outline and my first pass, and then another for my shading, and then I can swap them out based on what I want to do with each. So I hope you liked the video. I hope it was super helpful. Please give me a follow, a thumbs up. And if you have ideas for things that you might want to see or you might want me to cover, please feel free to leave comments. That would help me generate things that would be of interest to you. And I am on Instagram at Joyous Artistry, JoyasArtistry. I'm also on TikTok, and I'm on Facebook at Joyous Artistry with the number 1 behind it. I hope you enjoyed the video.